Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Mahogany Sweets. I want to come and talk to y'all about this 50 Cent and Ice Cube support or endorsement of Donald Trump. First off, Ice Cube did not say he was in support of him or endorsing him. Ice Cube stated that he wanted to have a meeting with him to put together a plan, an efficiency plan, agenda for the black community. I don't understand why you guys are attacking those who choose to do that. Because, for one, we need someone, one of our own, doing that, talking with these people who are making moves, who have the power to make laws, change laws, and stuff like that. So, it is asinine for black people to be coming out against black people for talking to those who are empowered to do just that. That's like counterproductive to say we're not going to speak to anyone who's in a power position for any reason. It's asinine. Do you guys not understand foreign like policy and politics? Countries who despise each other, don't necessarily agree on anything, they still meet. You know why? Because in order for the world to go around, you have to sit at the table sometime with people who you have opposing views with. That's what the Democratic Party and the Republican Party do well, that's their job, what they're supposed to do. So level up mentally as well as strategically to understand that no, we have to do that. That's necessary. But also, I was looking at the fact that you have a person like Kim Kardashian who goes and meet with President Trump, and y'all praising her for it. Y'all gave her the window and opportunity to go meet with him, and now y'all were able to see what the outcome of it was, what she was working on, what she was able to get from him, which is freeing black men and even women from out of prison sentences that were too harsh or wrongly convicted. And y'all praise her for it. Y'all not even giving black people the opportunity to go and sit at the table before you're calling them coons and sellouts and all of that type of dumb shit. Like, that's ass backwards. Grow up. The other thing is, what's his name? 50 Cent came and said he was going to vote for Trump because he did not like Joe Biden's tax plan, right? And a lot of people are saying he's a sellout and that he's a coon for that. This is what y'all need to understand. In your politics, who you choose to vote for, who you choose to endorse, what laws you decide to vote for or against, or should I say what bills, what do they call it? I can't even think of the name of it at the moment. But you are supposed to do it based off what you feel is best for you, best for yourself first, and best for your community second. People have been voting and even supporting putting people in positions of power in politics for since its conception, for as long as you can think of, based off their money, their health, education, all of those type of things. Like, this is what you're voting for. You're voting on what's going to put dollars into your pocket, what best suits your family needs. So for y'all to come out and trip on 50 Cent for saying he don't want to pay more taxes, 62%, which I would understand that. Like, that makes sense to me for him to say, no, I'd rather go with this person because I'll be able to preserve more of my wealth that way. Um, yeah, I get that. But you guys, these are things that you're supposed to take into account. This is what everyone's doing. You're voting based off who you think is best for you, as well as your community. And then those who are saying that President Trump is racist, um, pretty much everything that people have criticized President Trump for are also things that you could criticize Biden for. When you get to things such as, oh, well, I think that this one is racist or this one is obviously racist. So it's the other. They mentioned things about the Pizzagate stuff with Biden, but that can somewhat be said for Trump because I looked at things that I've seen of him and his daughter, Ivanka, and stuff like that, where it can kind of fit him too. So when you talking about stuff like that, pretty much all of it applies to both of them. The age thing, arrogance thing, all of that. So what you're supposed to be voting based off of is their policies, their agendas, what they want to do in foreign policy, what they want to do in healthcare, what they want to do in infrastructure of the United States, what they want to do concerning education, all of that kind of stuff. That's what you're voting based off of, and you're going to look at those agendas, those policies that they have. Well, first off, you need to pay attention that a lot of it is promises, most likely, that won't be kept, right? That's what all political parties do. They can have the most idealistic ideas and plans. It does not necessarily mean that they are going to be able to execute them once they get into office. They could have plans that ideally sound great, but depending on the road they want to take to make that happen, might not be ideal, might not be efficient, might be impossible. The way and means that they want to do that. So you got to be realistic when you're voting too. You cannot just look at what promises they're spitting out their mouths and think like, oh, okay, well, they made this promise, they said that sounds good to me, I'm going to do that. No, you got to look. Is this something that can actually be done? Is their heart sincere in it? Has it already been attempted to be done before? How successful was it then? Like, you have to gauge all of that. Okay, if this is the road that they want to take to making that possible, is the route to take it going to be worse off than the experience of it not being in existence already? You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to look at all of that kind of stuff. So, with 50 Cent, he's voting based off his pockets. I totally understand that. That's what a lot of people vote off of, based off their pockets. How can this keep more money into my pocket? What is going to get more money into my pocket and stuff like that. Loopholes, all of that. So I don't see anything wrong with him. I'm not faulting him for his political choice of party, because that's the other thing that people are getting on my nerves about. Y'all come to the table and say, oh, well, blacks specifically, we were deprived of the right to vote, right? Okay, now we have the right to vote, yet y'all, other black people, are trying to control how other black people use their freedom, their right to vote. You cannot do that. Everyone has the right, no matter what nationality. Well, no, because they would need to be part of the United States to vote. So nationality does matter. But regardless to what ethnicity, regardless to socioeconomic status, educational level, and all of that, they have a right to vote, and they have a right to vote on what they deem is best for them, what they view. Because just because you feel a certain type of way on a particular topic doesn't mean that you're necessarily right. Doesn't mean that you're wrong, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're right. When you're going to vote and we vote these candidates in, we're all gambling. We all are casting that vote hoping that we're making the right decision. And you have to allow people to, whether you agree, don't agree, or indifferent, to choose what they feel is best for them, for whatever reason they choose that's best for them. I am getting so tired of the last 8 months, year, of people attacking others for who they choose to vote for. That's another form of white supremacy that felt they had the right to control how people think, thought, what they did and didn't do, and stuff like that. Like, no. You can't have it both ways. You can't say blacks deserve the right to vote and then tell them they don't deserve to vote for who they want to just because you don't like that particular person. You can't go and attack them for their political views. They have that right. They have that freedom. So I do not like that people are constantly calling names, making outlandish claims about people just because they're voting for someone that they don't like, right? Because, like, for example, everyone was saying, oh, Trump is racist, Trump is racist. Everyone who's voting for him is racist. Well, 50 Cent clearly, which I already knew this, but so y'all can, like, really process this and think about it. 50 Cent clearly just proved, case in point, that no, you have people voting for Trump of reasons that are not about wanting to be racist or being racist. It's about their money, what's going to leave wealth for their children. It's about foreign policy. It's about healthcare and stuff like that. So to call anyone who's voting for him a racist is ridiculous, especially when we have Biden, who has been in politics his entire career. And if you look at his history and what laws he has voted in support of, the Democrats have really not made any difference on our behalf. They come and it's this kumbaya with black people while they're running their campaigns and want our vote. And then after they're there, what change have you actually seen that benefited us? So I'm kind of jumping off of this Democrat bandwagon, and I'm looking at it, no, right? People, vote for who you feel is best. The same way you have the right to choose who you feel is best, other people do too. You are not automatically right. They are not automatically wrong. Let's respect other people to make their own decisions and respect them and be in support of them with the decisions that they choose to make for themselves. Let's stop saying that we don't have representation and that doors are being closed on us. And then when one of our people go in that door that's not closed, it's open, turning around and calling them sellouts and saying this is that and other. Like, one of the things that I didn't appreciate and didn't like is Ice Cube went to go try and talk with the Democratic nominee, right? Joe Biden. And Joe Biden told him, no, let's wait till after I'm in office. I don't appreciate that. Because in my opinion, those who have been supporting and donating to funding Joe Biden's campaign, you best believe he sat down and have talked with them. Best believe that he has made them their promises, their unique needs, agendas that, and put together agendas that they like and that would best fit them, corporations and all of that. But when this black man come to you, you say, no, let's wait till after the election. No, you should be sitting with me now and telling me, here, okay, this is what y'all need if I get in. Okay, here, I've talked with you. We got the game plan. Me and my team, we have put together a model of how we can make this happen, the progression of it, all of that. Like, I didn't see that as being very hopeful that he plans on really doing anything if you wouldn't even sit down with us now, the same people who you asking to put you in office to have this conversation with. So some people are saying like, no, well, it's no problem, right? He's not in office yet, so right, why would he meet with him now? That doesn't make sense. If I went to a banquet hall, they're not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna wait till you book the event in this event day to find out what it is you need, what color arrangements you want, how many table seatings and all that. No, they're going to meet with me then before I pay them and put down a down payment, a deposit, all of that type of stuff, to see if they can meet those, what my demands are, and if they can meet them, and what the price of that is going to be. So to me, Joe Biden doing that was a slap in the face, and it just goes right back to him even saying, oh, if you don't, basically his message to us was, oh, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. I can't ride with that. I can't rock with that. Trump, on the other hand, yes, he's already in office, but even before he was in office, when he was running the first time, right, he was willing to meet with those who showed up. Let me think of the name. You had Steve Harvey. He had met with him. He had met with Kanye West. He met with some church leaders, some Black Baptist church or Christian church leaders and stuff like that. So for everything that people are screaming about Trump being racist, I actually see in action more of the things he's in action been doing, not to be racist, and Joe Biden thinks he's been doing to be racist, to be dehumanizing, to be putting us as second-rate citizens and not of importance to him. Although he's demanding our vote, and as they always do, think he automatically has our vote and stuff like that. So that really wasn't even my point. My point was just to come and talk to y'all about this Ice Cube thing of 50 Cent. Yeah, 50 Cent, like a lot of these people, they're going to vote for what's going to keep money in their pockets. I totally understand that, because if you're trying to take 60% of my earnings, actually more than 60% of my earnings, I would be pissed about that too. For those at the higher up, because I don't know how much money 50 Cent has, but I just know, like, let's say I was a billionaire and my taxes. See, right, that's the problem. The billionaires who can afford to pay and should be paying more, they're still gonna have all the loopholes in the world to not pay. Where you have that middle class factor, which let's say 50 Cent falls under there, they're the ones who's actually can't afford to pay as much as they require from them, but they're going to be the ones who are going to have to pay it. Where of course the poor being strung out like a turnip as well. So I totally understand 50 Cent's concerns about his money. It's unfortunate because the things that they put in place that's supposed to make it better for the smaller man doesn't. It actually ends up hurting us more. And then the things that they put in place to supposedly put more weight on the bigger man, the richer man, they are able to get themselves out of it through LLCs and other loopholes and tax credits and all of that stuff. Hiding money, shuffling money from out of private accounts to corporate accounts and vice versa and stuff like that. So I'm not cutting him no slack for saying that he rather vote for Trump. He's supposed to vote in his best interest for himself. Ice Cube never said he was voting for Trump. He went to go meet with him just as he went to go meet with Joe Biden. Joe Biden just would not meet with him. And it is to be representative on our behalf of a comprehensive plan for our specific and unique needs, and we need someone doing exactly that. So that's my thoughts about those two men. Tell me what you guys think, and do not come calling yourself chewing my head out for my take on this situation, because if you do, I really don't give a fuck. But I'm just telling you, I'm with the shits tonight. So normally I try and play nice in my comments section when people come talking crazy or making snot remarks. I'm going to dish that shit right back out to you tonight. But yeah, I'm just fed up. I'm tired of the war that the citizens are having based off who people are voting for, when this is supposed to be a free democracy. This is, people are supposed to respect and are supposed to respect other people's decision and choices in that regard, and y'all are not. Y'all are basically bullying people for who they are choosing to support or meet with. Y'all are name calling them, labeling them, and all kind of stuff. Y'all disrespecting them. I even experienced it myself. I had made a comment on Facebook, right? And we got into a debate, and it was over politics. And a couple of people just came really attacking me when I'm like, no, this is something that's supposed to be neutral. We're supposed to be discussing policies and agendas and what's best. And instead, people are not willing to do that. Excuse me. They're seeing things one-sided, and it's just automatically, this person is racist, this person is not. That is not how your vote's supposed to be. And as far as I'm concerned, they are two white men in America. They both have different degrees of racism embedded in them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if your claim to who you're voting for is based off who you think is racist or not, then you might as well not vote for either one of them because, like, that's just asinine. And I rather, for myself anyway, I would rather deal with a racist who is, that's open and clear, but they respect me enough as a human being to come and sit at the table. We can reason together, versus one who is in denial or hiding or putting on a facade of something different, even though in back alleys behind the scenes they are showing very much so that they're racist, and they're actually even more of a detriment. If you recall, Malcolm X was saying that you need to be careful with these white liberals because they are most definitely the wolves in sheep's clothing. And I just have been looking at it with this election. If you just look at the Democratic Party, they have shown us over decades they ain't shit, and they're actually quite racist and have been doing more detriment to us with laws and different things that they have have done where it concerns us. It's been more detrimental than good. And I'm just tired of that bullshit. I'm tired of that bandwagon just following a party blindly when it's evidence to show it hasn't worked in our best interest. We should probably try something differently. We should probably get more serious about politics, okay? And when I mean by get more serious about politics, your local politicians actually studying up, reading up the track records of how long these people have been in politics, what things they have individually voted on that affects our everyday lives, how they can aid us putting our money together to put money into a person who is going to do what's best for our community, what our demands are, actually come sit with us, sit at the table, and we can work out what they can do for us, what we require for them to do for us, and see them put that into action instead of this mess and misguided blind bullshit that we've been doing. But anyway, you guys have a good night. Well, oh no, so I think I'm gonna do another video. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Please leave your comments down there so we can talk about this.